my videos off now with my kiss with my wife. That's going to be my new thing. Tell her thank you. We come here today to give you guys an update on where we are. We are now finishing the outside. Well, we're not finishing the outside. We finished the front on the outside. Right, yeah. So we got some guidance now of what our vision is going to look like and how it's coming together. Right. You know what I'm saying? So what I want to do today is start off with our lessons and talk about some of the things we learned and something I want to share with you guys. Last video I talked about something. I talked about perseverance and staying steadfast and staying consistent in whatever you're trying to accomplish, whether it be an off-grid move, school, work, whatever, right? This time I want to speak a little bit about your vision. I really want to get across that your vision is just that, your vision, and you have to be perpetually consistent in accomplishing your vision. And I say that because of this. When we first moved out here, a lot of people was asking us some real crazy ass questions about building a shipping container home. People was asking us shit like, are y'all gonna have windows? You know what I'm saying? And me and my wife would look at each other like, huh? So my point of sharing that is nobody had our vision. A lot of people thought we were going to be living in a hot box. We got comments like that. People didn't have our vision. And the strange thing about your vision, it's kind of hard to share with people. You know, we've been trying to share our vision with you guys through this channel. You know, we want you to get a vision of what we're trying to accomplish under the premise that it might help you or those of you out there who are entertaining something such as this to help you with your vision. Because we didn't have one other than what was in our head. Right. I mean, we literally built what you see out of our head, because how many times I talked about it? We didn't have no architect. So I'm gonna stop there before I get into the lessons. I don't want to go too much. I want to let my wife give you her 2 cents about vision and manifestation. Yeah. You know, it's one of those things that, you know, when you see what you want, whatever it is, whether it be your career, educating yourself, it goes beyond just the action of doing it. It goes to really having the stamina mentally and spiritually to carry it out, and not just carry it out, but to see it through the end. Because, you know, in us taking on this thing that we're doing,
we don't know what it's called.
I don't even know a word, right, to even articulate it. But in us taking this on, it's huge, and I think it's bigger than what we could have anticipated, bigger than what we could have ever imagined. And it's taken a lot of perseverance for me and my husband, and it's taken us both to be mentally and spiritually intact and physically. And I cannot emphasize the spiritual, physical, and mental aspect in undertaking this. You know, as I observe other people, and you know, again, that's been the thing that I keep repeating, is don't try to get to the end of the rainbow. Don't try to oversimplify it. Because that is so easy to do, and it seems like everybody oversimplifies even what we're doing. Even as they watch us complete, you know, what we're doing, they still oversimplify it. And I can see that because you're just watching us, you're just seeing what we do in the end result, and it's different when you're living this day by day and trying to accomplish it. It's totally different than what you guys bear witness to on camera in the little 20-minute videos that I post, you know. So, but
you know, again, that mental, physical, spiritual aspect has to be there, and in order for you to see this to the end in anything you do.
That's true. I mean, especially something at this magnitude.
Right.
You know, there's things, you know, we both undergrad, we both grad school. You know, I didn't need too much spirituality to finish grad school, right? So you know, right, you know, stop. In something like this, however, to my wife's point, your spiritual commitment of why you're doing it and what your objective is a component. Okay, a lot of people, you know, I'm always talking about how we don't have any bills now, how, you know, we're bill free, right? Well, that's a motivator, but it is not my main motivator. My main motivator is for me and my wife to be connected with nature and live in harmony and in balance with nature. That's our main motivation, right? So within the scope of that main motivation is my wife's point, mind, body, spirit complex, right? So once you really understand that part of the equation, apply that to your task, right? So to my wife's point, those of you who are taking this on, be careful. Don't oversimplify. Don't take shortcuts. Don't do things that are, for lack of a better word, half-ass. Just because it seems more cumbersome to fix something and do something the right way. Because if you don't fix it and do it the right way, that shit gonna come back and bite you. And there's nothing worse than taking something apart after you've completed it, painted, drywall, tiled, blah, 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 blah. Then you gotta take that shit apart. It's a lot simpler when you might have to take some board up or some board down or some drywall off. I mean, we've had to take some shit off, right? So, you know, to my wife's point, consistency, but don't try to get to the end of the rainbow. To my point, have your vision. And in the scope of your vision, to marinate the 2 points, don't take shortcuts in your own vision.
That's right.
Don't take shortcuts in your own goals. How redundantly retarded is that? Right? So, I'm going to stop there with that. That's our word for you guys for today. Now we're going to get into these lessons of putting up Hardie board on this container. Hold on, I got to have a sip of my martini.
Me too.
Got my dirty martini going on. So, look. What we learned is this. You cannot use a nail gun to shoot the Hardie board if you put the styrofoam up to give you extra insulation on the outside. Probably took us about 5 or 6 shots of the nail gun till we was like, what the fuck? Right. So when you shoot the nail gun through the Hardie board, the foam board really doesn't have enough density to slow the nail down, so the nail just shoots through the Hardie board, through the foam board, into the wood. Well, I didn't realize it was going to do that, right? We couldn't find no videos on YouTube that spoke to Hardie board 4x8 installation. All the videos we found were about the planks, the siding. So when you do the Hardie board 4x8, in fact, when we label this, put something on there, Hardie board 4x8.
Right, so
somebody else can find it. We couldn't find nothing. But when you do the Hardie board 4x8, you gotta screw it. Yeah. Okay. So make sure you leave yourself a track, so you know where those wood planks are in those corrugated steel shafts, if you will, so you can catch that wood. So leave yourself marks and measure, put the Hardie board up to it, measure to your old screws, whatever, and then draw your lines on your board, slap your board up there, but you gotta screw it. You cannot nail it. So that's one of the biggest lessons, I think.
Yeah, that was a big lesson, because we didn't anticipate that.
Yeah, we didn't anticipate that. We thought we were just going to shoot the nail gun and boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah. And that probably goes in play with whatever you're putting on the outside. If you put a foam board insulation on the outside of your shipping container, that you probably won't be able to nail.
Yeah, you won't be able to nail it. You got to shoot it. Second thing we caught on to is your rafters. Your rafters got to be right. Okay, they gotta, when you catch that bird mouth in that rafter, for that rafter to sit on that plate, that top plate, make sure you look and you check the bottom of those rafters and make sure they're plumb. I didn't check mine, and I had a little couple of parts where when we put the soffit on, because we put metal soffit, it pulled a little tighter. So it gave it a wave in a couple of spots. You won't be able to really see it, but I can see it because I know it's there.
Right.
So of course I told my wife we got to take the whole damn roof down. we got to do it. She kicked me in the shin. So that conversation didn't go real well. But your rafter, as it comes down, that bottom gotta be plumb. Okay. I didn't foresee that, and I didn't think I was that far off. But apparently, a half inch in a spot can make your soffit not run so smooth. Okay, so that's another lesson that we wanted to speak to. We caulked the seams between the 4x8 boards. Once we caulked them and painted them, it makes it not very visible. So I think we're very happy with that. Those are the main things. Make sure I dropped a little note in the actual footage about cutting those angles and making sure your angles are right. And when you do your trim boards around your windows, make sure those angles are right and how to measure those off right. Another thing, if you do any siding, skirting, we did our skirting with stone, which is the same block. Make sure you do your skirting using drip edging. Okay, really gave it a nice finish.
It did.
When we put that drip edge on there, bringing it to that stone, it really gave it that professional zip. You know what I'm saying? That zip. That's the martini.
Yeah, right?
So make sure you put that drip edge in there. Okay. We waterproofed it. I would have liked to have done something different, but we're so far away from a Home Depot. You know, I ain't about to drive an hour and a half just to redo my taping. So I worked with what I had. Yeah, it came out okay. It was a taping that you put, and then you put this kind of like paint over it. That's like a paint caulk, and it kind of seals it. But if I could have I would have bought that Flex Seal tape.
Right.
That's what I would have used. Now, I think it would have just been a much more clear, but because it's a shipping container, I'm not too worried about the moisture.
Right.
If this was a conventional home with wood and plywood or OSB board for my sheathing, might be a bigger deal. So that's about all my lessons. What about you, Bag? Anything you want to add on any of that stuff?
I think you covered everything. You know, I just say once again, you know, going back to taking your time and making sure that everything is leveled and flush, because, you know, it may not seem like a big deal at the time that you're doing it, but as you move forward with your other projects and doing that end result, it will show its ass.
It will.
Always, you know. Another thing, well, no, we're not at that video, never mind.
Oh, okay.
But, yeah, so always just...
Don't sit on the wood.
Yeah, that's the next video.
That's the next video. We started our wood post.
Yeah, so
you'll see that next video.
But yeah, just, you know, again, you know, like my husband said, the last thing you want to do is get something all finished and complete and realize that you got to tear it all up and start all over again.
Yes.
That is like very disheartening.
Please listen to me on that.
So, you know.
Please listen.
Right. Don't,
listen, Linda.
For all the kings in Africa.
Listen, Linda. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Okay? It's very easy to look past a fuck up and say, oh, no.
Yeah.
They will come and bite you. And when they bite, it's going to hurt. I don't like to get bit. That's just me.
Because like even with our foam board, we didn't pay attention that some parts were sticking out a little further of the next foam board that was next to it. And when we went to put the Hardie board on it, we had to play with it because one was sticking out a little bit as it relates to the next one. So it's things like that you have to deal with when you don't pay attention and take your time and you just say, oh, it doesn't matter, that little bit won't. It will. It
will matter. So we're going to leave that for our 2 cents for you guys. We hope you guys enjoy the video.
Yes.
Till next time.
Be free.
Be free. All right. Hey, everybody. All right, this is the start of this video. We're about to do this whole front. So a couple of things we got to do to get this front right. We got to solidify up these blocks and put a cap block on them. Then we got to put the board on, the panel, which we're going to use a Hardie board. Then we got to put our soffits in up top. And then we'll have our lights go on. So this video pretty much is just going to focus on the front. We'll do another video for the back. But we're about to lay our cap block. We're going to put in some drip edge that you'll see. So we'll have some drip edge in here. The drip edge will go here on the bottom of this. We'll catch the water, we'll tape it, put this on. So you'll see that, you'll see this and that. So we're about to get busy. My wife ain't mixed no mud in a long time, so I got her mixing some mud.
I have to make some mud.
So we don't know what we doing.
Nope, we're just doing it.
We're about to figure this shit out right now.
Figure it out.
That'll be the edging over there. My wife already painted that.
That's the edging for the windows.
So what you won't see is, you probably won't see the boards painted, because we're going to paint all that at the same time. So that's the only thing will still need to be done, is the painting of the, not the boards, but the panels, the Hardie board panels.
Yep.
Okay. So we're about to get to it. Till next time.
All right.
Pull up. Come on, make it work. Pull up. Come on, make it work. Pull up. Come on, make it work. Pull up. Make it work.
Pet. Come on, honey. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on, Pet Pet. Come on, put your head up here. Come on, come on, come on, put your head. Come on. Come on, keep going. Come on. Come on, Pepper. Come on. No, 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 no. Come on. There you go. Come on. Come on. There you go. Come on, baby. Teaching her how to climb ladders.
Right.
So she can work with me in the construction.
Okay.
Good girl. Down. 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 Down.
So what we are doing is we got the majority of the boards are siding up on the shipping container. We just got to put the top boards up, but before we do that, we need to put the soffit up because our measurement is based on it going in without the boards.
You're first.
Can nobody understand metal mouth right there? So we're about to screw in these soffits, guys. Alright.
Pull up. Come on, make it work. Pull up. Come on, make it work. Pull up. Come on, make it work. Pull up.
Hey everybody. Okay, so we decided to do a little tutorial in this video just to kind of share some thoughts. We see a few people that we are keeping up with that are doing their own build, and we want to make sure we still keep giving you guys information and tips and things, you know, so as you're doing yours. So what we're doing is we're putting in our trimming on our windows, okay? And you got to get these angles fundamentally right, all right? So they're not super easy to get, so I wanted to go through a little quick tutorial of how to do them to make sure people understood. So first thing you want to do is know your measurement, all right? So you know your measurement off your head a little bit more so than just with the tape measure. So this window here is a 48-inch window. All right, so when you go, well, it's really like 47 and a half. So that's the rough. 48 is the actual, is the rough, the flange. But anyway, if I'm going round for simplicity, this is 48. This is a 1x. This is a 1x4. So I already know that's 3 and a half. I know that's 3 and a half. So that's 7 inches. So I got a 48 and 7. Okay, so that's going to take me to 50, what, 55?
56.
56?
Yep. No, 55. You're
55.
right. I'm sorry.
It's going to take me to 55, but it's actually going to be 54 and a half because this isn't quite 48. So I know I should be around 54 and a half because it's got to have my window plus my 3 and a half inches for my tail. So I'm going to get up here and measure this one. It should be ballpark 54 and a half is what I'm looking for. And I'll see how close I am or how much I'm off. All right, so I'm gonna catch it at the tip. I'm gonna come over, and I'm exactly 54 and a half. 54 and a half. You see? So when you're doing your cuts, one of the things I've learned to do is to kind of figure out my math before I even measure it, to have an idea, so that way once I go to measurement, I can know if I'm off or if my math is off. So 54 and a half is what I need, which jives with what I know should be true. So I come over here, I'll pull it. Now whenever you are cutting these angles, always put your mark right at the edge of your board. Don't put it up here or something like this. Don't do that. Always put it right at the edge, 54 and a half. Okay? Because that's my longest point. So this is going to be my longest point to that point. So now I have to cut my angle. I need a 45-degree angle. Now, I could very easily just take my saw blade, put it on 45, and go from there, okay? Which is what a lot of people may do. Well, I've kind of learned, don't do that dumb shit. Mark your board properly, okay? Because you can see that 45 and be moving real quick and do that and not even catch it. And now you go and cut it and you think you're on 45, but you're actually 46 and a half because you just wasn't paying attention. So what I've kind of learned to do is check myself. So I got my mark here. Now, this is your square. You could use it one of two ways. It's automatically a 45, right? So I could just put it on here. Oops, not that way. This way. All right, put it on my mark. And I know that's a 45-degree angle. That's one way. Second way, I could put it on my pivot, right there where it says pivot.
The other way.
Yeah.
This way.
Thank you. Put it on my pivot right there, and then come down and bring that 45 even with my board. When I get my 45 even with my board, I should have the same angle, see? So I do. So now I know that's 45. Now I'll line that up with my blade. And then if it jives with my blade, now I know I'm right. Now, make sure you put the blade right to the outside of your pencil mark, because if you put it right on the pencil mark, your blade's 1/8 of an inch. You're going to throw your cut off, right? So if you put it right on the outside of your pencil mark, you'll know you're right on. Oops. I got to plug it up. Might help.
I ain't peep it, I'm sorry.
All right. Now. All right. Now I gotta cut the other side. Gotta be the same angle. Right there, 45. Mark it. Turn my saw. Line it up. Roll it. Make sure it goes same angle. Now I'm gonna put it up there and test it. All right. Now I got it from my 44, 54 and a half from here to here, which is the same measurement from there to there, right? So if I did it right, it should fit. And bingo. Fits.
Perfect.
There we go. All right.
Cool.
All right. Could be a little tighter, but it's good enough for me. I would have liked it a little tighter. I think this board here should be up just a smidget more. Because you can see right here where it's just barely over. So if I push it down hard enough,
You'll get it in there.
it'll get close enough.
Okay.
Like right about there.
Okay.
Okay. So now I'll glue it. This side fit a little better than that side did. But that's fundamentally it. So if I push it over, I catch it there.
I see.
You see what I'm saying? And then this could have been slightly longer. But I'll catch it like that. And then I'll just caulk this side a little bit more and paint it. But that's pretty much it. My stuff here ain't completely square, as you can see. See where it's plumb here, sticks out here. Little shit like that is throwing us off. Them little smidgets I always talk about. You know? But this is what happens when you ain't never did it before.
I know, right?
Let me see the glue, baby. So I'm hoping giving, somebody who could use the little pointers out there some help. Helps you make better cuts and better connections. Take that, baby. See what them rocks. Thank you. All right, let me see the nail gun. All right, there it is. Now I'll do my little touch-ups where I got my little shims, do some caulking, and I'll let you see it when I get done on the next round. But I hope that helps with anybody got cut any angles. Till next time.
Okay, so we have finally completed the front part of our shipping container home. So this is what it looks like so far. So we have the Hardie board put up. We painted it. We did the gutters for the front. And I'm glad we did that. It looks more complete now. In the last video, you saw the stairs. And before we put the Hardie board up, we wanted to kind of finish this off with the block. So we put the top plate blocks on, and we put the drip edge, the drip edge flashing up under the stripping and the Hardie board to prevent any water from getting underneath the board. So I'm glad we did that because it gives it a nice clean look and we don't have to worry about water getting underneath the boards and doing any kind of damage. So as you can see, the soffits are in. We did the venting for that. And I like the way we did the trimming around the windows and gave a nice contrast in color. We wanted to go with something different. You guys know I really don't care for the shipping container look, so I wanted the house to, you know, look like a regular home. And trying to figure out what we were going to actually put on the outside, we were so kind of up in the air on what to do because it's hard to figure out what materials to use on top of metal. So because we did the 1-bys underneath and we did the 1-inch foam boards for insulation, trying to tie into those 1-bys, you know, kind of gave us a little bit of a question mark of what to put on. But the Hardie boards worked just fine. We were able to screw into those 1-bys, and it looks nice. I'm happy with the look. Yeah, I'm real happy with the look because it wasn't that much options for us to have. So it came out really nice. I like the porch lights that we put up. So, you know, trying to put it all together after, you know, years and years of having some of this material like the soffits and the gutters. We had that sitting around on our property for a while after we did the roofing. Because we just weren't ready to put that on yet. So in that time, trying to figure out exactly how we were going to do the front, it ended up coming together real nice. So I like the look. It looks nice and clean, as you can see. So this is where we are so far. We still have the sides of the house to do, the back of the house. We still got a long way to go.
Yeah, working on the side now.
Yeah, so, you know, but we're getting there. It's just, you know, little by little, taking your time, and you can only do so much at a time. But we want to get this outside kind of completed, especially the front as it relates to the awning and the deck, which you will see in the next video before it starts getting cold and we get snow and everything. We want this all solidified. You know, we had that foam board exposed for almost 2 years now and it got pretty deteriorated. So it was important that we jumped on this before we complete the inside of the house. So this is where we are right now. Hope you liked the video and stay tuned for more. We still got a lot to do, guys. Till next time, be free.
Yeah. Oh. Ooh, yeah. Amaru, yeah. Turn up for the night. Real thing, she's no average girl. Too fine, oh, she mine. She's so damn fine. I just wanna call on you. Money just fall on you. Another thing I won't do. Ooh, yeah. Yeah. I just wanna call on you. Let me do it all for you. Can't nobody ball on you. Ooh, yeah. Yeah. She the girl in my visions. Now that I found you, I'm feeling for all your attention. Yeah. Hope you don't mind if I give you a tour of my mansion. Yeah. All of this for you, babe. Nothing I won't do, babe. Weak for your love. Everywhere we go, it be alright. Yeah. Can't help it with your body.